Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Saturday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, man. You know it. It's 3:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. All right. I think I got a bad feeling I'm gonna get beat up on this video, man. But I gotta say what I gotta say. In the last week, I was reading an article about a movie, and I made a personal observation. I don't know if people would agree with this or if they get what I'm saying. I'm not gonna say it was an epiphany or anything. It's just a correlation that popped up in my mind. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. I want to make this clear though. What I'm going to say in this video, I'm not saying that violent movies create what happens in these school incidents. I'm not saying that's not my point. Not my point at all. Now, secondly, something else just happened. I was looking through today's stories, Saturday, March 1st, 2023. And this, I don't know how to put across my point, what I'm thinking here. There was a roof collapse at the Apollo Theater in Belvidere, Illinois, yesterday, Friday. There was three death metal. They call it death metal. I used to go to, back in my day, like Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, that's the stuff. I used to go to those shows. I was there, yeah, man. I saw Ozzy like 4 times. I did a video where I talked about where I was supposed to meet Ozzy, but I was so geeked up I couldn't meet him. Anyway, I was never into the hard death metal, black metal, that kind of thing. Anyway, these 3 bands, Morbid Angel, Revocation, and Skeletal Remains. Now, I'm familiar with these bands. There's people there. I would hang with people that were 6 years younger. I mean, Morbid Angel's been around for a while, and there's people just under my age that listen to this stuff. I was never into it. Okay, so there was a roof collapse at this show with these 3 bands, death metal bands. All right, and 1 person lost their life, and at least 28 people are injured. Okay, I am not saying in this video, I'm not going to say this is an act of God or anything like that. I'm going to try to really carefully put across my point here. Let me start with John Wick. John Wick 4. All right. Last week, there was a school incident. All right. There's been so many of them. When I sit here, I have a hard time remembering the names of the cities. Doesn't that say something? Like just now, I was going through all the 12 names that are in my head for the latest school incidents. I'm going to call them incidents in here in this video, so I could still stay monetized. But Nashville, Tennessee, what happened in Nashville? That was on my mind. Then I start reading about John Wick 4. Okay, it's a blockbuster. It's doing great, man. People are nuts, making a lot of money. It's breaking records actually. It's not just breaking box office records. It's breaking body count records. John Wick in the movie. I started reading about it. I'll link down below. I never watched a John Wick movie. And this is my whole point too, is these last 16 and a half years, I've been clean and sober. I was a hardcore heroin and crack cocaine addict for 2.5 decades. And I base my life, I believe in manifestation and the law of attraction. What you think, what's in your head is what the universe brings you. I believe that. I'm going to tell you guys something. This is so corny. I pray every morning. The last 16 and a half years. The last time I was in rehab, the time I actually got clean, I couldn't sleep for 3 days, 3 nights. And there was a Bible. It was the only thing to read in the room. And I started going through it, and I started reading the stories, Jesus's stories, what are they called? I can't remember what they're called now, those stories, the Jesus's lessons. And I decided to start praying, like the 12-step program and all that. And one of the things I pray is that I'll bring everybody I come in contact with today, I'll bring happiness and love. Everybody I come in contact with, that's my goal for today. To open doors for people, to not get angry when I'm driving on the road. Everybody I come in contact with, to bring happiness and love. Now, people are going to beat me up for saying this, but I swear to God, for the last 16 and a half years, I prayed every day, and that's part of my prayers. I truly believe what you put out, you get back in this universe. Okay, back to John Wick 4. The highest body count. If I lost track, honestly, in these 4 movies. It's over 400. Like I said, the point I was making, I've never watched a John. It was just, they're too violent for me. I tried to watch one John Wick movie. It's the one where somebody wanted his car. I think it was a Mustang, and something happened to his puppy, his pet puppy. And I shut it off. It's like, I don't want to see this, man. I don't want to. I'm not going to sit here and watch 90 minutes of just blood and gore. Even though he's supposed to be a black good guy, a dark good guy, fighting against even badder guys, like Justice or something. I just couldn't watch it. I don't need that in my life. I'm not saying anybody else has got to do that or feel like that, but that's how I feel. All right. So John Wick 4 has the highest body count. Like, I think it's 148 people he does away with in this movie. Okay, and they're supposed to, these are the worst guys that John Wick is doing away with, right? And he's supposed to be, he's like a semi, alternative good guy, doing away with the even worse guys. Is that the gist of it? Okay, this is what I'm saying. I started thinking about this. On one hand, we're going, we're grieving over, and scratching our heads. And oh my God, how can we stop this? This is terrible. What's wrong with people? And then we turn around and we go to these movies, and this is our entertainment. This is what we do for fun, for entertainment. We watch movies where people are. There's different ways that he did away with people in this movie. Fire, throwing them into traffic, off buildings. Yeah, this is how we entertain this is our entertainment. So on one hand, we're over here going, oh my God, what's wrong with people? What's wrong with the world today? Why, how are people so broken that they're doing this? And on the other hand, we're entertaining ourselves by going and watching more of it. But that's not really my point. I really started thinking about this, and it's like, what really I really see is, I think this affects the people on the right. This I think deep down this creates a fear in them. I think this is the reason, the main reason they cherish the Second Amendment so much, is I think a lot of them see these movies and it's fear-based, that they think that someday they're going to have to defend their family against zombies or hordes of city dwellers. So we'll call them city dwellers, coming to the suburbs to pillage your family, so I'm going to need all these weapons to defend my family and my country and America, and and I think deep down it's almost like, I don't know what you call it, fear porn or something like that. Where they this is going to happen to me. I got my Second Amendment rights, and I think it affects them more than anything, where they are just, they see movies like this and they believe that someday they're going to need to defend themselves, like John Wick or something, or Arnold Schwarzenegger, or any of these other, good guys. I believe that's part of the reason for this insistence that they have these tools, these weapons, these automatic weapons. I think part of it is it's deep down in their subconscious that they're going to be John Wick someday. I believe that. Okay, let's move on to the collapse of the theater here. Okay, I'm not saying that it's God punishing somebody. I'm not saying that at all. Like I was saying, I think sometimes I believe in the law of attraction and manifesting. A lot of these bands talk about death, mayhem, chaos. That's all they talk about. And at the very least, I hope maybe once you see actual death, chaos, and mayhem for real, like when a roof collapsed, maybe you might not think it's so cool anymore. It's when you actually see what you're worshiping or what you're fantasizing about. It's not cool. It's not a movie. This is real. It's not pretty. Like people that have been in war say, it's not. There's nothing good about war. And actual chaos and destruction like a roof collapse. It's not quite as romantic. Let me say romantic as people would picture. I'll use the word romantic, or people fantasize, or or whatever about these bands sing about death and mayhem, and I believe in deep down in the law of attraction. If you put that into your life, death, mayhem, chaos, destruction, blood, in the universe, sometimes it brings you what what is on your mind, the law of attraction, the manifestation. I'm not saying this is God punishing anybody, and I don't want to see anybody get hurt. I'm not saying this is judgment or anything like that. I'm just saying you got to really appreciate every day here. Every day is a gift, not a given. And there's nothing pretty about carnage. And on the other hand, I don't think, like on the right with the movie, I don't think people should live their life in fear. If you constantly are fearing what's going to happen tomorrow, you can't enjoy today. I hope that made some sense. Those of you that want to start beating me up in the comments, have at it. Have a good Saturday.